funny.
Hi, I'm Cindy Cullen. I'm the lazy programmer, and you are?
I am Elizabeth, the faithful, ever trustworthy sidekick.
Okay. So today we were going to talk about adding a Genesis theme to WordPress.
Yes.
Okay. I have two clients right now. One wants a Genesis theme, and the other one has sent me a design from the designer. So I was going to show you the difference. There's the design that I need to put into WordPress. So I'm going to do that in the next video or later video. And today we want to look at Genesis, which is, tell me where it is,
StudioPress.com.
And I have purchased all of their themes, and I suggest you do too if you're serious about this. It's been a good deal for me. So I have all of these themes that I can use for client websites and for my own. And they're really good themes, and I like them. Do you like them?
I do.
Good.
They're really easy to work with, and there's enough variety there that it offers quite a few things for customers.
Right. Right. And since I'm not a designer, I want to say that very clearly. I am not a designer.
No, she's not.
I do not like doing design.
No, she doesn't.
Genesis makes it very easy for me.
Yes, it does.
And if there's anyone out there who is a designer or who knows how to make this easier, I would love to have your feedback and love to learn new ways myself. So I'm just teaching people what I know, which I will be the first to admit when it comes to design. I don't know a whole lot. I get by, and that's it. But there are a lot of people who don't know as much as I do. So I want to share what I know, and then hopefully other people will share with me too.
Boy, that was good. Take a breath.
Okay. Smart Alec.
That's what I'm here for.
The theme I chose for my client, or my client chose actually. Which one was it? I can't remember.
Modern.
Yeah, modern. No, it was
Portfolio.
down here. There we go. It's this one. So they picked this theme. This is for an art client. We're going to change some things on it. They don't like the color necessarily, the black. We're going to change that. And we have their colors from their designer. So I'm going to change that out. But for the most part, the layout and everything else will work. So that's what we're going to go with.
So tell me, how do you go about choosing a theme if you're not a designer?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question, but I'm not the one to answer that. Personally, I choose it by what looks most appealing to me and the layout of it, if that's more along the lines of what I'm looking for. For instance, since this is an art client, then I choose one that shows art well and can display their portfolio better. If it's one for a business client, then it needs to look a little more professional and a little more stuffy.
I think it's important for them to understand is, all of these templates, they start with just a rough basic. So what you're picking is not necessarily what's showing, but what is going to work for your website. If you need to showcase pictures better, then probably this one would be one of the good picks because it's going to showcase a lot of your pictures. If you're wanting to do more of a blog, then of course you're going to want a theme that is probably leaning towards more of for a blogger. And so when you're looking at these, it's not necessarily the pictures that are in there, but the functionality of the theme.
Right, right. So I usually show my clients either sites I've already done with Genesis, or I show them this page and let them choose what they feel fits best with their company, keeping in mind that we can change colors, we can change some of the graphics, we can change some of the layouts around.
Right.
And some of these themes have a lot of different layouts with them.
Right.
So it makes it easier to customize it for the client. Again, design is not what I enjoy doing, and so I try to pick the theme as close to what the client has already told me they want anyway.
Right.
Because I would rather just throw the theme in there, customize it a little bit, and be done with that part of it.
But if you see a theme you like, a lot of these themes come with colors that you can choose from, and they also come with different layouts. So if you see one that kind of piques your interest, then I suggest you look at it a little bit more closely and see if maybe the color could change, or maybe the layout of the page will change.
Right. And after having spent a long career working with a lot of different designers, this price that are on these Genesis themes is really very inexpensive for a design. Obviously, custom designs will run you a whole lot more because they're custom. They're made just for you, and
Right.
you have to pay the designer for their time.
Right.
And designers are worth every penny of it.
They're worth absolutely every penny.
A good designer, you can tell the difference in a good designer and somebody like me, or somebody that doesn't have experience in design.
Right.
And these are all well made and look great, in my opinion.
But if you have a specific brand logo that you're wanting to showcase, my suggestion would be to find yourself a designer.
Yes.
Who could design a page, maybe a front page and an interior page for a website, because you can take those designs and implement them into one of these WordPress sites and use it to your best advantage.
Right. Well, my suggestion is, as soon as you can afford a good designer, get one. These will work until you can afford that. But after you've got some money coming in, especially if you're a business, as soon as you've got some money coming in, hire a designer, because they're going to brand it for you, and it'll be a custom design. Nobody else out there will have one. Even though these are wonderful themes and I love them, there's nothing to say that the next website that comes along won't have the same look as yours. You know, it doesn't make you stand out. So my suggestion is, as soon as you can afford a designer, get one. So with all that said, I chose Genesis because, number one, they work well on mobile phones, and they're easy to make responsive design, which means that the difference in the screen size works well with these. They're built for that. I also chose them because it's a well-respected name, and I can trust them, and they support the themes. And since I'm not a designer, it makes it a whole lot easier for me to trust them to do what I need to do. It makes my work a whole lot easier to just put one of these in there, customize it like I need it to be. So that's why I chose Genesis. Why did I choose them over some of the other frameworks? I like the selection that they have, because they have more themes, and I could buy the package where I get all the themes. And I like the way it works, and I like the way it's easy to customize. I didn't test a lot of the others out, so that's sort of, since I'm not a designer, I just took the first one that would work for me. So I'm not saying that there's not some better ones out there. This is the one that works for me. So that's why I use it. Okay, so we're going to use the Modern Portfolio. Once I've chosen the theme I want, then I can go back to the theme page and go to My Studio Press. And then I have this saved in my handy dandy password thing, which logs me in, and I find that theme here, and I can download it. It automatically downloads it, and it also gives me a getting started page that tells me exactly what I need to change for this theme.
That getting started page is really helpful when you really like the look of what you saw and you want to kind of get it towards that look. That beginning page really helps.
As you'll see in a few minutes, that once I download this and install it on my WordPress blog, it doesn't really look anything like this to begin with, usually. My first reaction is, whoa, wait a minute, I didn't get the right one. But it is the right one. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles with it, and it's not customized the way they did it for this site.
Something else that you need to remember is, once you put one of these themes in, until you get some information put into it, it's not going to look like the one that you chose.
Right.
So if you have a slider, chances are the slider is not going to function correctly until you get some pictures put in there. Right. So don't think that it's just not working. Get some information put in there first.
Right. Follow the Get Started page, and you should look fairly similar to what you chose. Okay, so that's why I chose Genesis. And that's the reason we use Genesis. And then in the next video, I'll show you how to actually put it in there. But I don't want the videos to get really long, so I think we'll cut this one off here. And I think that's a good introduction to why we're going to use Genesis. What do you think?
Congratulations. Good job.
All right. See you later.